No.
No.
No! 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 No!
Oh, hi there. My name is Prostetnik Vogon Jeffs, and in this video, I'm talking about another Amazon Prime movie
Don't do this. Please.
that tries to paint politicians as altruistic heroes, and NATO as the only thing preventing World War III. Another Amazon Prime movie that pushes political coding so obvious that even a brain-dead network news anchor would watch it and be like, "Whoa, guys, maybe dial it back a bit." I mean, either that or sign on to the cast. Another Amazon Prime movie that insists on castrating its talent in the name of appealing to as many people as possible.
Light and bright stuff.
Light and bright. Okay.
Yep, in this video, I'm talking about the middling geopolitical propaganda that is Amazon MGM Studios' Heads of State.
If you're gonna spew, spew into this.
Directed by Ilya Viktorovich Naishuller? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Well, if I'm being honest, I don't really care. Ilya, the son of a Russian oligarch, now has 3 movies to his name. The 2015 vomit comet Hardcore Henry, the surprisingly entertaining 2021 John Wick If He Were My Dad flick, Nobody, and Heads of State, starring John Cena as the president of the United
Who's with me?
Idris Elba as Prime Minister of the UK. And Priyanka Chopra Jonas as MI6 agent Noel. Fucking Christ. I'm sorry, I really am. I mean, come on. We've also got Jack Quaid doing his best Jack Quaid impression, Paddy Considine not giving a single solitary fuck that he's in the movie, Stephen Root destroying the last of his news radio cred, and Carla Gugino making everybody ask the question, what the hell is Carla Gugino doing in this movie? I'm not going to bury the lead on this one. For anyone wondering, no, this is not the worst movie Amazon has ever put out. It's not as embarrassing as stuff like G20 or Jackpot.
Are you serious?
But it is equally banal and predictable. It's more streaming service content meant to be gobbled up and forgotten. A few months from now, someone will ask whether you've seen it, and you'll say something like,
"Yeah, I think so. I couldn't tell you what happens in it, but I'm pretty sure I watched it. Isn't that the one with Homelander and The Rock?"
And then that person you're talking to will correct you by reminding you that it was actually the guy that apologized to China for calling Taiwan a country, and that guy who wants to ban butter knives or something. All right. For some reason, our story begins during La Tomatina, the Battle of the Tomatoes, which is an annual food fight that takes place in Spain. MI6 agent Noel Bizet is posing as a news reporter, pretending to cover the event and committing the first unforgivable sin of the film, making a horrendous ketchup pun.
Throwing it back to you at the studio, we'll catch up later.
Ooh, ouch. That was painful.
Honestly, I thought I liked puns until I saw this movie.
All right, that wasn't my best tomato pun, but it was fine.
Maybe I did, but now I hate them with a passion. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're posing as a news reporter and you're on a top secret mission to catch an arms dealer, wouldn't the last thing you would want to do is start talking to your entire team about how great your puns are? Noelle basically gives away her entire team's position by talking directly to them.
It's like they know where our cameras are positioned.
What kind of amateur are we working with here? The mission is actually a joint MI6 CIA operation to take down Russian arms dealer Viktor Gradov, who uses body doubles to confuse Noelle and her team. The agents are then forced to use some ambiguous tech called Echelon to analyze the walking patterns of Gradov and his doppelgangers in order to detect the authentic arms dealer? Which is exactly what Gradov wanted. His mercenaries jump into action, taking out Noelle's team and linking to the Echelon system in order to upload something. Noelle tries to apprehend the hackers but is taken out by a shotgun blast to the chest. Now, hands up if you think she's actually dead. All right, keep those hands up because I want to make a mental note of the dummies who bought into this setup. Because obviously she isn't dead. I mean, come on, smarten up. Cut to British Prime Minister Sam Clarke and a montage of news channels talking about President Will Derringer, who happens to be a former action movie star, best known for his Water Cobra franchise. The president... No, I can't do it. I'm just going to call him John Cena. I mean, come on. President Will Derringer? John Cena is in the UK to visit with Prime Minister, who, I will continue to call Sam because at least Idris Elba is somewhat believable as a PM. And settle down. I said somewhat. Anyway, both heads of state are updated on the failed operation in Spain. They meet up for a press conference to discuss their upcoming NATO summit and some clean energy technology BS that will kind of be important a little later on in the movie. They're asked about the mission to get Gradov as well as the Echelon technology, which apparently is a massive surveillance system that monitors everything.
Are you ready to acknowledge the existence of a top secret surveillance program which monitors all of our emails, video conferences, phone calls,
and without a doubt infringes on civil liberties? Their response? Yeah, it's real. Don't f*** with us.
Our enemies should be afraid. We have the tools, and we have the technology to find and destroy them if they challenge us.
Unbelievable. Sure, let's just gloss over mass surveillance. The press conference doesn't go over well, and to save face and present a unified stance before their NATO summit appearance,
you fly to Trieste together on Air Force One.
Sam agrees to fly with John Cena on Air Force One. Cut to a predictable and pointless scene featuring an irate antagonist. And back to Air Force One for a drawn-out confrontation between Sam and John Cena.
All right, I get it. You don't like my movies.
I've never seen your movies.
Come on.
As one of Gradov's mercs sabotages the plane. Air Force One's location is exposed, and Gradov's team attacks from another aircraft. The presidential plane goes down over Belarus, and the two leaders are forced to skydive their way to safety. Sam and John Cena are presumed dead. And I really love it when real-world network news anchors show up in movies. It goes to show you what they really are. Actors. That's all they are. That's all they want to be. They just want to be seen in front of the camera because their narcissistic, inflated egos think that... Oh, sorry. I'm getting carried away. While Sam and John Cena argue their way through Belarus...
Dear God.
I think he's had the day off.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Vice President Elizabeth Kirk takes over for the missing president. I'm not sure who takes over for Sam. I mean, just like real life, no one really cares about the Prime Minister. And this movie is no exception. VP Kirk, who definitely isn't working with the bad guys, does something with an Echelon briefcase or, I don't know. This whole scene is bullshit. But the outcome is that Gradov gets control of Echelon.
We are now in control of Echelon.
And that's bad. I mean, that's all that really matters. Meanwhile, back in Belarus, Sam and John Cena try to steal a car from a group of thugs and wind up in a fight. It escalates pretty quickly, but luckily the two heads of state are saved by a sheep herder with a shotgun.
Yankees?
Canadians.
Why'd you say Canadians? Everybody loves Americans.
Americans love Americans. Today we're Canadians, trust me.
Sam and John Cena pretend to be Canadians because this script was written before Canada became the laughingstock of the world. Thanks, Trudeau. After another lengthy scene that emphasizes the surprising lack of chemistry between two generally entertaining actors, and after Cena gets a face full of sheep teat, the two leaders arrive in Poland and head for a CIA safe house. They're greeted by Marty Comer, a CIA agent stationed in Warsaw who happens to be a huge fan of Water Cobra. He helps Sam and John Cena fend off an attack from Gradov's goons who, thanks to Echelon surveillance, already know where they are. And sure, it took nearly an hour to get here, but we've finally found the first genuinely fun scene.
Not in the movies now, son.
With Marty outsmarting an entire team of mercenaries. It's over the top and ridiculous, but it's also entertaining. And even though I'm ready to die on the hill that Jack Quaid wasn't the right casting for this role, I still found myself caught up in the action. Unfortunately, Marty can't hold off Gradov's two main henchmen and gets shot off camera. Gee, I wonder if that means he's still alive. I guess we'll have to wait until the post-credits scene to find... Oh, no, of course not. He's alive. He's obviously alive.
1 nanometer. Either way, I am not here sipping this Bahama Mama.
Absolutely no stakes, everybody. 0 stakes. Sam and John Cena make their way out of the CIA safe house. CIA safe house. Sam and John Cena make their way out of the CIA safe house.
You should go. No, you go.
But are immediately apprehended by two of Gradov's mercs. Thankfully, the police show up to save the day. Only, that's not a police officer. I wonder who it could be.
Noel?
Of course it's Noel. Duh.
Sam?
I thought you were dead.
I thought you were dead.
But why is she surprised to see Sam and John Cena? Apparently, she had no idea they were still alive, and by happenstance ended up in a back alley in Warsaw just in time to save their lives? What kind of bullshit is this? Right, sorry. I forgot what I was watching for a second. Anyway, Noelle guides Sam and John Cena through the city while dropping exposition like warheads on foreheads. Gradov's son developed the green energy tech that the US and UK have been flaunting, but it turns out that due to a colossal mistake, he was killed by the aforementioned governments. The operation was sanctioned by NATO because they thought he might have been building a nuke. Billions of lives were potentially at stake. Why does this sound so familiar?
Correct me if I'm doing the math wrong, but we're the assholes here.
See, John Cena gets it, but Noelle is quick to cope by pointing out that
Gradov's son didn't die because of us. He died because he's the son of the devil.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. The trio figures that someone on the inside is helping Gradov, and we know it can't possibly be the vice president. They surmise that it's Quincy, Sam's chief of staff, who suggested the Air Force One plane ride photo op thing. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Noelle's new mission is to get these two knuckleheads to the NATO summit, so they hitch a ride on a train without knowing where it's headed because a shit script will make sure it's going in the right direction. And it turns out that Sam and Noelle had a thing back in the day.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. You two did a little more than work together back in the day, huh?
But no time for that now. Gradov's henchmen have found them yet again. This time, however, Gradov's hacker decides to switch teams. He saves Sam and John Cena and then tells them how to uncover the inside man who's been helping his boss.
Gradov is insatiable. He'll never stop.
So it's off to Croatia. The NATO alliance begins to fall apart because European nations don't want American money or support. Who the hell is writing this stuff? Noelle, Sam, and John Cena make it to the hackers' hideout, with Gradov's goons showing up moments later. Sam holds them off as Noelle discovers that the insider isn't Quincy.
It's Bradshaw.
John Cena's chief of staff.
The digital fingerprints are all over this.
Okay, my bad. I was convinced it was going to be the vice president because, it's always the vice president. Well, color me surprised. Not content to let his goons get all the glory, Gradov shows up in a helicopter and yanks the hacker's computer vault thingy out of the building, and then launches a missile into the building, killing Sam. Alright, let's do this again. Hands up everyone who thinks Sam is actually dead. And keep them up.
I gotta talk to these absolute morons for a second.
I want you to know that I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Noelle and John Cena save themselves by jumping to a nearby rooftop, and Gradov is betrayed by Bradshaw.
She paid you extra to clean up loose ends, didn't she?
But he manages to survive too because, well, whatever. After hijacking a boat and traveling to Italy, John Cena calls Vice President Kirk for help. She sends the Beast, the nigh-indestructible presidential limo. But oh no, it's a setup.
Take them to the rally point and do your job.
See? I knew it.
It wasn't Bradshaw. It's Kirk.
I told you.
Of course it was the vice president. It's always the vice president.
This movie is so predictable. I wonder if there's going to be a fight inside the Yep, there we go. Jesus. At this rate, I'll bet dollars to donuts that the driver is going to accidentally get shot. Seriously? Well, then that probably means the Prime Minister is going to come crashing into the scene in a fire truck at any... No! I am on fire here. The convoy of chaos crashes through the Italian streets. At this point, I don't know who is working for who, but they all want Sam and John Cena out of the picture. Honestly, I enjoyed this scene. I don't think it's because of the action or anything like that. I think it's primarily because it plays out to Motley Crue's Kickstart My Heart, which does a great job of distracting from the obvious nonsense unfolding on screen. Regardless, everyone makes it to the NATO summit just in time for Sam and John Cena to address the faltering alliance with the dumbest goddamn speech I've ever f***ing heard.
You're embarrassed, you're angry.
But we need NATO. We need partnerships. We need to treat each other with respect. Embrace each other's differences.
To send a message to future generations that we were here, that we did the right thing.
The whole thing is capped off by Trump surrogate VP Kirk getting shot by Gradov, who then launches an all-out assault on the NATO leaders. Shooting, 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 fighting, fighting, fighting. Gradov tries to escape by helicopter, and Sam reveals that, despite his earlier comments to the contrary, he is actually a huge Water Cobra fan.
Said you never saw my movies.
I know, I lied. I've seen them all.
So, John Cena throws a statue at the helicopter as Sam takes a harpoon to the shoulder, and Jesus Christ, what are these words coming out of my mouth? What the hell is happening in this movie? Helicopter falls and explodes, Sam and John Cena eat fish and chips, and we get a post-credits scene that, presumably, is trying to set up a sequel or spin-off or something.
Nice to meet you, Agent Comer.
Yeah, right. The end. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this isn't Amazon's worst offering.
Could be worse.
It's a mediocre, forgettable movie that you can put on at the end of a hard day of looking for work in a broken economy, instead of doom scrolling through YouTube videos about how AI is going to make everything worse, but also kind of better. Unless it's not better at all, but actually even worse than everyone thought. Now, it's fine.
Everything's being graded on a curve today.
If you want to turn your brain off for a couple of hours, it's totally fine. Personally, I would recommend skipping the first 2/3 of the movie to watch the third act chase sequence, and then promptly shutting off your television and throwing it through a window. But that's just me, because no, it's not fine, it's terrible.
We must do better. We will do better.
As far as technical proficiency goes, Heads of State is perfectly okay. It's doing exactly what you would expect from a streaming service movie. No more, no less. There's nothing original about any of it. It's completely derivative on all fronts, but it carries out its derivativeness in a straightforward and competent manner. Character development is weak and cliched, but at least it's there, kind of. That's something. Could it have been pulled off in a more effective way? Yeah. But was I expecting that? No. No, I was not.
Is this about the fish and chips thing?
Plot is another issue entirely. It's wafer-thin garbage we've all seen hundreds of times before. The story progresses only by the sheer pressure of its need to move from one scene to another, which it does fast enough that you barely notice the flimsy connection between plot points.
I knew the truth would come out. There it is.
I mean, the only thing holding this generic slop together is a fish and chips quote-unquote joke that bookends the movie.
Don't tell me you're still mad about the fish and chips thing.
It shows up at a couple other points in the movie too. I mean, it's so forced and unfunny that it was painful to watch.
Let it go.
And speaking of painful, that runtime. I know an hour and 45 minutes isn't terrible. We've all watched longer, but this hour 45 feels much longer than it should. This is a 90-minute movie on its best day, and there are some scenes that, if you pay close attention, will bring out a little voice in the back of your head screaming, "Cut! Cut! Cut!" It's pretty much every scene where Idris and John are forced to talk to each other while displaying a shocking lack of chemistry. All of those scenes could have been cut in half. This could have been a tight 90 minutes if the director and/or editors had the stones to discard the bloat. And I'm not even going to get into the one-dimensional antagonists.
Excuse me? You ran your primaries on America First.
Oh, Christ.
The movie didn't feel the need to spend any time developing them, so I'm not going to bother discussing them here other than to say that they suck balls. Truthfully, I have no idea who this movie was made for. It's too bland for hardcore action fans, it's too much testosterone for weak-hearted Gen Zers, it's too childish for adults, and too adult for children. And if you're into geopolitical flicks that actually engage your mind, well, you're completely and utterly SOL here.
God damn it!
It's another case of Amazon trying to make something for everyone and inadvertently making something for no one.
We should also be using this as a collective moment of introspection.
I think the thing that drives me crazy about this movie is that there are brief glimpses of an entertaining movie. There are moments like the "How did you survive" montages or the tentpole action scenes that tease entertainment, only to have it ripped away by the absolutely retarded mess that surrounds them. I just can't recommend this one.
When that day comes, maybe then you and I can sit down and talk about it over some fish and chips.
For all the aforementioned reasons, but also because it feels like it's part of a coordinated effort to rally the troops behind corrupt government shenanigans and global organizations full of the absolute shittiest people on the planet.
If NATO falls, there's no more backstop against despots and dictators.
Go sell your bootlicking nonsense somewhere else. I'm not interested. Because Heads of State is a terrible movie.
Okay. Questions?